Hi, Mr. Bond.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. There is nothing you can talk to me about that I don't already know.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Con Ulrich bringing to you another episode of Evil Genius, the show that asks the question, what were you if you finally let your bad side out? When last we saw each other, we found ourselves our first non-construction workers, our first not tier pathetically zero minion, and we now have valets. What does this mean for our future? This means that finally we can start confusing people a little bit. I guess we're going to jump right back into it and to kind of go from there. As you can see, our entire complex is beginning to sprawl a little bit. And I think for right now, we're actually going to interrogate this man again. Actually, you know what? I guess we're going to have to kill him. Oh well.
Intruder tagged for psychological weakening.
It's important that we do this. But I think what would be even more important is I make this a corridor and
Room construction underway.
make an external door that says, oh my gosh, this is so important. And this is a strat that people use to make things a little...
Hostile presence detected in base. Tag removed.
This is a strat that people use so that way they don't have to worry so much about other undesirable troops coming in. Ah, cool. We're starting to get our first minions in play. I'll explain that strat in a second. Alright, I kind of thought these guys would go back outside for a second. Once you make a door, H's tend to go for the doors with the highest security value on them. So in this particular case, a value with 3 is definitely way more important for them to check out than a value of 2. So the value 3 one is just basically saying that only you and your minions can check that place out. It makes a much more important value for them. They'll more likely check that out first, let's put it that way. And apparently I still need one more stupid little control panel.
Intruder alert. Security door bypassed.
And it's not foolproof, as you can see. But you know what? Oh well, we'll get there. Slowly and surely we'll get there. Day at a time. Day at a time. But as I promised you, I said that we were going to begin to bring in and really take off the forces of evil. Forces of good, rather. Oof, excuse me. I am the forces of evil. But I suppose I could also be the forces of good, too.
Zhang keeps saying labels not make you happy. Good, bad. Ugh. You must love you.
Yeah, inside here!
So what we have here now is we have these investigators who are really going to be a pain. Aha! We can finally do certain things like create traps. Alright, it's time for these guys to die. Okay, who are they shooting at? Oh my gosh, they're shooting at the... Every now and again they'll do something stupid like, okay, let's shoot at freezer racks. Not entirely sure what that is, but you know what? It's going to happen sooner or later. That just was that we lost one of our minions, unfortunately. Apparently it wasn't important enough for us to actually keep our minions alive. Moving forward, you'll see that all of our material is actually tracked to see how well we do. But for right now, I think we'll be okay. You know, omelets, eggs, the entire thing's going to happen sooner or later, right? But in the meantime, we're going to wait for our noble forces to come over here and start making people angry. And now that I think about it, it's time for us to actually create our infirmary. The infirmary allows you to heal up your minions, which is something that's completely necessary if you can start looking at how violent this unfortunate line of work is. And actually, now I think about it, this doesn't have to be too big. This has to actually be rather tiny. So I think actually we will keep it pretty tiny.
Object purchase order confirmed.
Let's resize the room. Ah, much better. And one thing else we need to consider is we need to actually consider putting in a mess hall. A mess hall allows your brave individuals to replenish some other stats. In this particular case, endurance. You'll note in a little bit that endurance starts to be much more... I forgot the difference between the star are. Ah, okay. Basically need an opportunity though for your minions to replenish everything. In this particular case, I'm making myself poor by doing this. But it's completely necessary, trust me.
Object purchase order confirmed.
Boost my numbers even a little bit more. Ah, yes. So our first troops are in the field. We're going to go and actually have them attempt this particular thing right here. As you see right here, risk indicates how kind of rough the mission is going to be for your people. I kind of like it's zero's as safe as houses, none as safe as skydiving into an alligator pit on fire. Said about how many people we're probably going to lose, and we'll start going into a little bit more about how to make those losses come a little bit less severe. The time that it takes, it can be lower depending on what kind of forces you bring along, and we can go with that too. But for right now, it's really not going to be that much of a change. Just going to keep things rather simple. Yes, our first burglar. Burglars have this annoying way of trying to steal everything from you. I think it's actually completely rude of them. But apparently I think it's okay. Here we go.
This is Reverend Archer with the Polynesian Public Service broadcast on a mission in Papua New Guinea. I've got an exciting program lined up for you today. First, a few hymns and a bit of a prayer, then we'll see if the Nuthead side managed to give up headhunting for Lent. I've also heard that some evil men have recently been causing mischief in these parts, so make sure you take a good book with you at all times.
Okay, that sounded like our mess hall's going in. Alright, so we've lost one of our individuals, which is unfortunate, but it's going to happen at some point. I'm going to bring this guy home, make it so that we don't quite lose, actually, no, we'll stick him over here, so we don't lose quite as many people, but we still have a growing horde.
Intruder tagged for psychological weakening.
Let's go, my minions, let's do something positive here. Oh, okay, 40, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, maybe? We're still at 35. And we'll just keep these guys here for the time being. Actually, yeah. I think I might begin to put together a trap system. Normally I don't really like using traps. Traps tend to actually be rather inconsistent.
Weaken tag issued.
But every now and again they start to be. They're worthwhile every now and again.
Intruder detected on security network.
Alright. There we go. Cool.
Warning. Hostile presence detected in base. Object move order confirmed.
Okay, so we're getting a good amount of money out of this. We're slowly starting to tick people off. I'll just give you an idea over here. So we have a listening post. If we get rid of it, then hey, look, we look awesome now, right? Let's see what's another one we can do, perhaps. Maybe that's the next one we'll do. We'll stick some people over here and free McGraw. Or we'll do this one as well. I mean, one requires 3, one requires 4. Alright, you know what? Capture this guy. As you can see right here, again, with that those red circle coming up around him. Which effectively means that if he escapes, he'll increase our heat for the entire island.
Intruder tagged for psychological weakening. Intruder detected on security network.
So now we have a pharmacy, we have a staff room, we have a bunch of different stuff. So what's next? I think it's time to actually start growing. Oof, that was surprising. I didn't lose anybody. Time to start growing our diversity of our staff. To do that, as you see right now, again, we actually don't know how long it's going to take because we don't have anybody manning the desk, essentially. Alright, so next few people we're going to grab a technician. And then we're going to grab a security guard. And what that's going to do is it's going to help us... Well, it's going to help get ourselves to diversify our staff. And that's an important thing right now. Alright, I'm going to show you the gloating thing real quick. You see right now we have only 5. And if I assume I don't screw that up. Every now and again when you gloat, it gives a chance for the gloating upon person to escape. Apparently someone is completely and totally tired. Alright, I have to increase this. This is ridiculous, boys. If you allow them to actually take pictures and escape again, they might actually even help your captive presence escape. You know, we can't have that, obviously. So the beginning of this, unfortunately, is going to be a little bit higher of a body count, both for me and for the rest of the community, I think. Alright, guys, come on. Alright, well, one brave minion is going to find himself dying. Guys. Alright, this over here is called red through green. I mean green, white, yellow, and red alert, rather. Excuse me. Wow. What this means is when it's yellow, your minions are arm themselves and will attack your enemies as quickly as possible. When that is not the case, you just have them stand down. They'll just kind of do things normally. And that's kind of a good, what we need right now. We need a little bit of calm, safetiness. Cool, we can finally see these guys again. So, time to pick up a guard and pick up a technician. In the meantime, I'm also going to have these guys plot. You notice that right now we don't have a lot of options on this particular map. But as you plot, it increases your knowledge of the area as well as the bad things that you can do. And can definitely make things a little bit more amusing moving forward. Okay, let's try to gloat without having somebody do something silly like escape. So I've just gained
Make
a
way
notoriety point.
for me.
Prisoner execution order confirmed.
Yeah, so there we are. As you're starting to see, we're starting to get people from everywhere now.
Psychological weakening. Intruder detected on security network.
And now our army of valets is springing into action. What I might do in the meantime actually is extend the barracks again over here. That's not going to work out very well. Ooh, actually this could work. No, it's not going to. Tourist, by the way. It's not really too much of an issue. It allows you to pretty easily just kind of push people away.
This is the Smash 4 studies. Citizens in all Smash territories are being urged to remain vigilant as the spate of kidnappings continues. Skilled civilians are being spirited away by the evil organizations for an unknown purpose. In an off-the-record comment, one Smash official said that the chances of rescuing the hostages were slim to none.
Attention! This is an Anvil World Service transmission. The chairman begs his loyal citizens to be on the lookout for suspicious foreigners on Chinese soil. The evil organization continues to prey on our civilians, perhaps hoping to somehow exploit their skills. The chairman assures you that these infidels will be stopped, and the party will once more be triumphant.
Alright, so we're going to actually start moving into our next area of personnel. We're going to open up both the science tree as well as the military tree. One second. Alright, just check something real quick. We'll have a couple more minutes together. You'll see me actually, I think, open up both our, both trees, both science and military. Then I think I might call it quits for the time being, so that way we can get an opportunity to check out some other videos.
Oh.
We're going to ignore her too. And this burglar, unfortunately, well, he's just too smart to live. Oh darn.
Prisoner interrogation order confirmed. Awaiting interrogation device selection.
And while that's happening, we're going to add in
Object patches
a laboratory
order confirmed.
as well as a punching bag. And this will in turn allow us to start developing our forces even more.
Object has been ordered.
And once again, nothing is more terrifying than a man who stands like Michael Jackson. Actually, I realized I could do this.
Object purchase order confirmed. Object will be moved shortly.
Alright, what I'm trying to do here is just increase the amount of area that I can use to put lockers in. I'm sure there's a much more better way to do this. But this is the way I'm doing it. So if you don't like it, tough.
Object has been ordered.
Ah. But now we have our first soldier. Sorry, excuse me, guard.
Caution. Cannot accommodate this.
Okay, so what we're going to do here now is, since we can't actually have
Minion capacity exceeded.
as many minions as I want over here, we're going to just start setting these things up ahead of time. So 10, 10, and 10, I mean, that's a good way to start, right? Shouldn't be too bad.
Interrogation requested. Select an interrogation device to proceed.
Someone worth killing.
Kill tag issued.
Alright guys, there's no need to... Oh, hey, you know what? Right now we have this guy over here who's like, I wonder how I can fight these people. There we go. Attaboy. As a technician who watches on realizes that his help is no longer coming to him.
Intruder tagged for psychological weakening. Intruder detected on security network.
Awesome. And unfortunately our freezer's already getting a little bit full-ish. I guess there's only 6 per. So we could definitely put them on the floor, but it's a little less efficient for space. So I think after we bring in our first technician over here, I think we're going to call it quits for the time being. And then the next time we will take a look at what's what, I suppose. I'm going to try to look into actually moving and increasing my presence in this particular arena. While you're not actually in the territories, your guys actually drop heat. So the heat that you gain from putting people in there, it'll just slowly disappear. I'm gonna shift them up here again. We're still gonna have moderately high heat from all 3 of these areas. We've largely ignored green just because it's really not worth it at the time being. But yeah, I think we're just gonna keep Eli out there in the public. We now have our first technician who's gonna be training his other people. And as you can see, we're actually gonna get our own guard, our first guard in a second. And I think we'll just make them more guards for right now. Too much information. Ugh. Awesome. Alright. So, folks, I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. I'm going to save right now. Actually, I'm not going to save. I just noticed something very, very wrong over here. Time to make an object lesson.
If you're not nice to me.
I inadvertently seal somebody in. Oops.
Object move order confirmed.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna...
Where have you gone?
Aw, man, really?
Weaken tag issued.
Oh, security door out here. Gotcha.
Warning. Hostile presence detected in base.
Not quite sure why that guy's freaking out right now, but we're not going to worry about that too much, are we? Maybe next time I'll try putting some traps into this location to see what goes on. We'll go from there. As you can see, though, we have our first guards. We're going to start adding guards over here. It will increase our heat, but it'll also increase the amount of money that we bring in. I should be logical by now.
Intruder tagged for psychological weakening. Intruder detected on security network.
As the game progresses, you're going to see just hordes of weakened agents right over here. Just about literally hordes. At this point, it really makes no sense to actually try to get rid of them. Let's see. Ah, yes, that's what I was going to do. I'm actually going to save the game for right now. And I think actually what we're going to do is actually capture one individual. Capture him, you fools. Sadly, a lot of our guys are tired, but they're not tired enough that they can't actually do their job. Alright, I keep saying this now for like the 3rd time. I'm saving right now. And when we get back, I do believe we will increase our pressure on the world, and we'll see how things go, right? So for the time being, everyone, take it easy. You all have a good day, and this is Connor Ulrich signing off.